All right, good evening, everyone. Today's date is November 15, 2018. Tonight I'm starting off with the SPY video that I shot a couple of days ago. Now, I'm having issues with iMovie lately, so I can't really cut the clip and paste it and do really what I want to do, but just to kind of play back what I last said in the SPY video, I'm just going to go ahead and play the clip here. Hopefully you could hear it. So this is from the old video. Potential downside. I do expect a minor bounce moving forward, but I would like to go on record tonight. Okay, so my downside target was here. I was off by a couple of cents, as mentioned in that video, but looking at the SPY today, we did pierce that level. Now let's look at the 10-minute time frame here. You could see right there. So my level was at what was it? 268.13, I think. Today we made a low of 267.03, and you could see here that the market was pushed up right off of that level. It's not exact, but very close. Looking at the daily time frame, you could see very nice bounce on the SPY today. Now, with tomorrow being Friday, we could have a sideways day or maybe another move to the upside. Keep that 200 MA keep that in mind here. The 200 right now sits at 275.89 or so. So I do think that the 200 will act as a resistance on the SPY. Now, next up, I want to pick up on EURNZD because I was starting to see some bullish movement on EURNZD finally tonight. I'm not convinced yet, so I'm being very patient on that, but I'll go ahead and play the clip on that one so I could pick up right where I left off. Consolidation pattern. But either way, I'm looking for price to now break down and see if we could get some kind of bullish pattern here and ride it up. All right, so I don't want to. So there's EURNZD, and let's look at that now. Looking at a 1 hour time frame. So there's that line that I talked about in that video at the 165.690 area. And you can see we have gone sideways now for about a couple of hours here. You could do the math, but I do like this engulfing candle. I like that price is now capturing that moving average there. But that's the 1 hour time frame, so I'm not getting really too excited about it yet. But I do like what I'm starting to see. Just because there's an engulfing candle doesn't really mean anything just yet. This was an engulfing candle here, but you could see that this pattern played or failed. So it didn't really play out very well. But I'm hoping that this level now will hold, and I'd like to see if maybe we could get a long position here and ride this up. Looking at the 2 hour time frame, prices staying below that moving average, so I'm not that convinced. Again, here on the 2 hour time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, this is a bearish inside bar pattern. Not really sold on that quite yet. And daily, we still have all day for this to close. I would love to see an engulfing candle on the close of this candle, but that's way too early to tell right now. I do think that there's some high impact news here in a couple of hours here. So you've got the Euro inflation zone and Eurozone inflation. High impact news here in about, it looks like about 5 hours or so. So I'm going to just kind of stay on the sidelines and see what happens, but we'll see how this plays out. On a weekly time frame, I'll go ahead and explain to you guys where I pulled that level. My charts are clean. Looking at a weekly time frame, if you look at the candle for the week of June 11, 2018, you could see that the low was 165.699, and the week before that, the low was 1.66012. The week before that was 1.66101. So you could see, and you just kind of draw yourself a horizontal line here. There should be some support here, all right? Another factor, if you pull your Fibonacci tool from low, I'm picking February 6th, 2017, and I'm connecting to the high of October 8, 2018. So right about there, you'll see that the 38.2 retrace comes in at 1.66165. Now, with this being a weekly time frame, we could see a pierce of that level, but should this level fail, then you have that 200 MA down here at 1.62190. And again, if you look left, this was an area of previous resistance here. I'm looking at May 15 of 2017 before we moved down. And here we broke out of that level, retested it here. Look at the candle on September 18, 2017, and then we shot up to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at. That's how I've got my level there on EURNZD back to the 1 hour time frame. A little bit of a sell off here, but this will be important here. This is a medium impact, so not a lot going on there. So I'll just kind of stay on the sidelines to see what happens here in a couple of hours. I actually might be in bed by then, but right now I'll just stay on the sidelines, but I am keeping a very close eye on that EURNZD. Next up, I want to do, let me see, I have my list here. NZD, Kiwi Yen. All right, so this one here, I shared the chart here with you guys. Let me turn off my moving averages here just to keep it clean. All right, so on this one here, I'm looking at a daily time frame. Now, as mentioned in the chart that I posted, this pair has been trading in a 300 pip range for about 3 months, and it has now reached the 61.8 extension. All right, so you can see here very clearly, price is just kind of going sideways. Very boring for 3 months. We finally broke out to the upside November 6th of this year, and we have now reached that 61.8 extension level. I would like to see price pull back to the 75.5 level, but I'm not convinced just yet. Let's go ahead and delete that line. I'd like to see how price reacts to this. This is still on a uptrend. You could see very clearly that there's the daily candle. If you look at a 4 hour time frame, this is still a bullish pattern here. So I'm kind of staying on the sidelines, waiting to see what happens. One thing I do want to point out here, connect the low of October 26th this year, project out. Now, when drawing trend lines, make sure that you guys are connecting the wicks. You go from wick to wick to wick, okay? Avoid doing this. I see a lot of this. Oops. My magnet's turned on. So try to avoid doing this. All right, so try not to, just draw what you want to see. Draw what you see, okay? Very, very important. So connect the wick to the wick, and you could see how that plays out. And you could even go into a lower time frame to make sure that you're looking at this correctly. So here, there, here I'm not exactly on the wick, but it's pretty close. All right, so you could adjust it just a little bit. The first sign I'd like to see for this to pull back to the 75.5 level is a break of this trend line. Very straightforward. I'd like to see a break of that trend line, and then that would suggest that price wants to head lower. I believe there is some news on this pair also. Let's check. Medium impact, medium impact. Okay, so maybe not. Okay, so on the 1 hour time frame, this is looking like a bearish inside bar pattern, but still hanging on to that trend line. So let's not get too excited just yet. This is a 61.8 extension. I like that. I like the trend line. I'd like to see a break of the trend line, and another thing to note is on a monthly time frame. All right, so I wish I could turn all this stuff off. There you go, monthly. On a monthly time frame, look at that 20 MA. So price is coming right into that 20 MA. Yes, this is an engulfing candle on the monthly candle. There are, let me see here, still about 15 days left on the month. But yes, this is bullish. But if you see that price is technically speaking still on a downtrend. You have a high here, July 3rd of 2017. The high was 83,910. You have a high here, September 1st, 2017. The high was 82,749. The high, January 1st of this year, 81,567. So my point is we have a high. Like so. And notice I'm connecting the wick, and look where price is coming right into. So right now we're actually, looks like we're wanting to test that 20 MA and that downtrending line. So technically speaking, we are still on a downtrend, even though this is a bullish candle. All right, so there's one factor. The daily factor of the 61.8 extension. All right, and we'll see if we could get a break of that trend line. But right now on an 8-hour time frame, we're still riding that 20. All right, the 20 is very important. 4-hour time frame, this was looking like we were losing the 20, but we recaptured that earlier today in the trading session. So right now this is still looking healthy. It's still looking like an uptrend. Nothing wrong with it. Daily, once again. So this was very, very important to keep an eye on. We could see a break of that trend line, and in that case, then we could end up going all the way up towards, let's see, 79. I'll call it 79 even number, or round number, excuse me. There is also a 3-bar surge on the weekly time frame. All right, so that's another thing to point out. So very interesting here on Kiwi Yen. There's that bearish inside bar pattern. But once again, just keep it very simple. Watch that trend line. Draw yourself a trend line. Once again, pick the low of October 26th. You could use your magnet tool here, so you snap directly to that line and project it out. Okay, so connect. So there's my magnet mode there. October 26th, October 31. Or 31st, November 12th. 1, 2, 3. Project it, and that's where we are at right now. So a move to the downside would yield, let's see here, about 185 pips. Not bad. I'd love to take 185 pips on this trade, but don't jump the gun here. Just be patient. Wait for the signal. Even if you do see an engulfing candle and you see a bit of a sell-off, don't just jump right in. Be patient. Most likely we'll see a move back up to the upside and then some follow-through. All right, so be patient on this one. Hopefully that made sense to you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. So that's what I'm looking at on Kiwi Yen. I think that's all I had for tonight. I've got some other ones that I wanted to cover, but I need to charge my battery again, or my laptop. So I'll upload this on YouTube here shortly, and we'll see what happens. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and thank you.